My name is Cantrell. I'm an oboe and English horn player in Los Angeles, and I teach woodwinds with MMC. My musical mentors were Tom and Sherry. Tom, or Mr. Schaefer, let's be real, I still think of him as Mr. Schaefer, was my first private teacher when I was in 4th grade. Our lessons were my first experience with an adult outside of my family where I felt like a person. I wasn't a child. I wasn't a student in a class. I was a human, and we were exploring music together. It was exciting and it was fun. Mr. Schaefer was witty and encouraging and just the right amount of sarcastic that spoke to me. He really made me feel like you can do this, but he'd also point out, you can do this better, and he'd be right. My family left the area, but we moved back a number of years later when I was finishing high school, and I got to continue my lessons with Mr. Schaefer. They were great, but different because, well, I was different. One thing that made Mr. Schaefer such a good teacher was that he'd grow and change with his students as they did. My final lessons with him were pivotal, I think, for me as a young person in establishing the idea of being a lifelong learner. He would suggest I look at other recordings and other books and other resources, and underlined the idea that he wasn't the bastion of all knowledge, that there's so much out there to learn and so many places to learn from it, and you need to go find them and go do it. So I did. And then I met Sherry when I was finishing my bachelor's degree. Sherry is Sherry Seiler, who I studied with for my master's degree. She has this incredible energy and enthusiasm and joy just bursting out of her that it's impossible not to absorb some of that when you're studying with her. Lessons with her weren't just, oh, put your fingers here, or, oh, you played a wrong note there. It was about expressing and communicating and connecting, and about how incredible it is that we can do that, and let's do that, which was fantastic. I met Sherry at a time when things weren't maybe going so great in music, and her support and just excitement for it made a big difference for me. I think studying with her showed me really that even if things aren't going how you want them to, or how you mean them to, or how you expected them to, that doesn't mean they can't go well, which I think transfers to a lot of things, musical phrase, or performance, or, everyday life, which is really helpful. I think also what was really powerful about studying with her was that she really drove home that you have something to say, and your voice is important, and your art is worthy of being shared with everyone out there, and why not? I'm still very close with her and still incredibly grateful that I got to spend the time with her that I did. I think these two relationships really shaped a lot of who I am as a person, always wanting to know more and be better and share that with people, which is what we're here to do at MMC.